What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video where we talk about in the cage conversations and how we solve the problems within the cage, right? So in this, we really just kind of give you a snippet of what one of our guys was dealing with, and then kind of how we put it together for them to kind of solve the problem, right? So for this week, we're going to kind of be talking about just feeling the connection in the core, right? So a basic premise, right, is a lot of times we feel stuff in our back leg. And a lot of times we feel stuff in our hands, right? We feel separation, we feel whatever it is, right? But a lot of times because of that, we miss the connecting piece, which is our core, right? Our obliques, our intercostals, our abdominal muscles, right? All of those things, we miss that connection piece. So a lot of times what can happen when you miss that connection piece is, one, you miss an extra layer of separation, but two, you can get stuck on the backside and then get spinny or long with your movements, or you can get hip swing, like from back shift, right? Or just pushing the hip forward, right? And not really allowing the center of the body to carry you to the ground. Okay, so this right here, this is what this guy was kind of struggling with that, right? He was saying, I feel like I'm jumping up out of the ground as I move to the ball, right? So what we were able to do is kind of use these constraints. We actually had a couple more that we don't have on video, right? So the other one was just like a foam roller that he put in between. And then that Bosu ball that you see on the ground, he used that one. Really, he felt a lot right there too, right? So it's really just finding those constraints that really just allow you to feel yourself being in the middle, right? And that middle just like being the connector piece from the hip, the lower half to the bat, right? And so like right here, like he's being able to feel, just like his ribs essentially carrying him as he moved, right? So a way to think about this is like have somebody, it's like having somebody have a hand on each side of your ribs, right? And they are holding you as you move forward, right? So it really helps to be able to just control the movement, and you don't get top of the hip dominant, right? Or you get pushy, or you get long with your movements or anything like that, right? So it's really just feeling the center, stay in the center as you move, but then being able to control the movement, right? Because a lot of times we think about get the foot down, and what we need to be thinking about is let the leg finish. Let the body finish. Let the body finish getting into the ground, getting into the place that it wants to get into, right? Because like that's what really matters, right? Josh Donaldson will say, sometimes I hang my leg kick up higher when I see a curveball. Sometimes it's shorter because the guy's throwing 103. Like whatever the case may be, right? You may not be at that level yet, but the premise is the body needs to get to a certain point. Okay, so we've got to let our body finish and not worry about a foot down, because in our brain, if we think foot down, as soon as any part of our foot touches the ground, we're gonna go. We're going to start the hands, and at that point, we don't have big muscle engaged. We don't have a block. We don't have a meeting area, right? We don't have a strong enough front side to where we're going to have a meeting area, and then that can just have an array of problems, right? We can blow a hip, we can lose bat path, we can lose anything like that, right? So like that's why we want to make sure that we don't think foot down. We want to think body finish. Okay. So that's really what we're trying to kind of accomplish with this, right? It's just constraints to be able to feel the body moving it and staying with the body as it moves, and not letting the hip line go back or forward or travel or push or anything like that, okay? So that's really going to help you kind of just play with what you have, whether it's a med ball, a foam roller, a Bosu ball, or whatever else that you have. Use what you got. Use that if you're kind of a faller or you don't feel like you have that connection in the centerpiece. So use that, do that, and before you go, hit subscribe, like this, comment, and share it so you can keep seeing more, we can keep doing more, and you can keep getting better, because that's what we're all about. So hit that subscribe, and I will see you next week on In the Cage.